Hey guys, welcome and hello. We're going to be getting into this next game. It is game number 2. We are spawning directly on top of WhiteRa. I wonder if they actually have the color white, if WhiteRa would take it. I don't think the color white would look very good though on Protoss units. Whatever. WhiteRa is going to be the red Protoss in the top right. He's going to go up against Acer.Nerchio, the pink Zerg in the bottom left. Guys, this is an amazing turns, and I'm so curious about what you guys think in terms of who will be winning this series. So if you want, you go to zanderfever.tv/vote for you live guys out there. We can see what you think is going to be happening in this bottom left area. And that's so much fun. I'm so curious about what the stream always thinks about who is going to be winning in the games, especially when you have two top players like WhiteRa and Nerchio. Because that last game could have gone both ways entirely. WhiteRa was able to defend against the 8 pool without any difficulty whatsoever. He got his wall up in time and he just destroyed Nerchio's attempt at an 8 pool, but he ended up losing 3 immortals for free. And losing 3 immortals for free is, that's not exactly your best way to win in a matchup where your opponent's going for mainly armored people with the roaches. And yeah, right now, wow, it's really a 50-50 split, so you guys really gotta get voting, because we need to see who's gonna get that, like, 0.2 percentage, upvote there in terms of who they think is gonna be winning. If you guys haven't voted, please do. And WhiteRa is going to be looking like he may Nexus first, actually. He's setting down this probe down there, his 16 probes, so he can plop down a 17 Nexus, which is quite greedy, but I mean, if that pays off, that would be amazing for him. Nerchio is in a very commanding spot, considering that he's up 1-0 in a best of 3. But WhiteRa's got a good handle on what the pace of the game is so far. But it seems like because of the fact that the pool's almost done, he's going to go ahead and throw down the 17 Forge, and now he's going to throw down his Nexus. He's going to play it slightly safe and just lose 25 seconds on his Nexus timing, but that's okay. That's literally 2 chrono boosted probes. So that's the entirety of that difference there. So the question now becomes what are the follow-ups going to be? WhiteRa just went for a normal Robo, some Sentry, War Prism harass against Nerchio, and now WhiteRa is going to be annoying and delay the natural in the third for Nerchio. And Nerchio is going to be like, alright, that's fine. He's going to get out his Queen. He's got no gases yet, though, but he's going to be able to easily handle this pylon and throw down his Nexus, or his hatchery a second, but it is going to be 200 late, so that does make the pylon more than worth it. Sorry about that. The muffin just started rebelling. I tried to mute my mic in time. I hope I did. Otherwise, excuse me. So we've got the assimilators now going down for WhiteRa, which is perfectly normal timing for him. He'll be able to get out any kind of tech that he would like to. And Nerchio is still got his gas. I'm kind of looking to see what his gas timing is going to be, so we can start getting engaged on when he's going to start going for roaches and everything. But WhiteRa, I really want to see him go for a really quick third base. That's what I really want to see, partly just for selfish reasons of me wanting to learn exactly how to do that in this matchup, but on Daybreak you have such a large rush distance between the bases that you can really get away with some very greedy plays. And WhiteRa is a player that can sometimes do exactly that. I've seen him go for a ton of expansions on multiple occasions, but as of right now, Nerchio is in a commanding spot. He's 1-0 in a best of 3. That's pretty much your best possible position besides being 2-0 in a best of 3. But Nerchio is shown to have amazing macro. He was able to macro out of an 8 pool, and WhiteRa got out macro. He also has to really keep tabs on his units. If he can't keep his immortals alive like in that last game, he's just going to outright lose. Nerchio is not a player that's going to let WhiteRa get away with having units out of position exactly like that. So let's see what you guys in the voting are saying about the stage of the game. It looks like WhiteRa is the favorite for you guys to think he's going to be winning. So very cool to see that. And he is going to go for the Robo once again. Sentry Harass on this map can actually be very strong too. You've got a lot of area that Nerchio would need to defend, and you can easily do things like pop in your War Prism here over at first and just go force field, and get a lot of drones locked in there. Hook around the bottom, come over here to the natural expansion expansion and just go plop down here and go force field, lock out this queen, and you got a nice area there to engage. Or you can even come here to the third base, plop down the war prism over here and go force field, and you've got a lot of places you can engage. And then if the drone's trying to retreat this way, force field. Link's trying to come around this way, force field. And you've got a lot of opportunity to be incredibly annoying with the sentries. And WhiteRa has shown a proficiency at doing just that. But as of right now, he's working on his +1 attack, and he's getting down some... ooh, we could see that Overlord may go away. The Overlord may go away. No, the Overlord did not go away. Oh, wow, the Overlord got to be saved. And that's going to be a really, really important thing. We've got the Immortal coming down from WhiteRa over here, and we've got a lot of gateways coming down now. It's going to be 5 gates. And that could be WhiteRa being aggressive with an Immortal. He goes for a big Immortal Sentry Stalker attack a little bit early. He can hit around the 10-minute mark even, way before Zerg can sometimes get that very heavy maxed Roach army. But right now, Nerchio is working on getting out his Lair Tech. His Roach Warren is already down. He's in an Evo Chamber, so it looks like he's really preparing to go for massive amounts of Roaches to be incredibly aggressive against WhiteRa. And if WhiteRa doesn't hit soon, he could get just simply overrun, because there's no third base or anything. There's very few cannons around. It's simply just a singular cannon down there. But I'm still waiting to see WhiteRa try and get out a War Prism and do a little bit of aggression, because if you add in a War Prism to an attack like this, it can be exponentially stronger in terms of reinforcements. And there it is. WhiteRa is going to be going for this War Prism. Now it's just a matter if he uses it in a frontal assault manner, or if he's just going to go ahead and just warp in aggression in the back. But we've got the 7 gates on the way. 5 gates are completed, so WhiteRa's going to be able to get in a huge amount of gateway units, and he will be attacking around that 10-minute mark, which is a very good timing. But oh my God, WhiteRa! I think he just saw that Overlord was there and then just pulled back. But to talk about a giveaway to Nerchio, 34 Lings are coming in production now, and we see that Nerchio is going to actually be teching to a Spire, which is great. I mean, against Immortals, if you can rush out those Mutas, you can destroy that Sentry count, and before WhiteRa can warp in enough Stalkers, you can just destroy the Sentry count, which is so uberly important. And now WhiteRa's going to not even be able to cancel that pile, but that's where the War Prism is going to come into play, because there's that reinforcement of gateway units right there, all 6 gateways worth. And now we're going to see that this Overlord is going to get picked off, and that will actually supply block Nerchio, but he's got 5 Overlords coming in, so it's not going to be a supply block for very long. But there are no spawns coming in. Nerchio's trying to get out some forms, but oh no, WhiteRa's going to get purely pincered. We see how these Zerglings are waiting to see WhiteRa's army on the creep. You can see how Nerchio can't see the army. He's got to know that it's right in this dark spot. He's got good presence everywhere else, but WhiteRa's now going to go ahead and move in, and there we go. We're going to see Nerchio engaging with a couple of Roaches a little prematurely, but we're going to watch as the Lings are moving. It looks like he actually wanted to go for a counterattack there, but Nerchio's doing a great job of waiting for that opportune moment. Now we're having Lings attacking, drones are going to be coming in, we've got the force fields coming down, the Lings are going to be almost getting into the bottom, but WhiteRa's got amazing force field spread, making sure that he does not get hit by as many Roaches as possible. We're having the Roaches coming in from the bottom. WhiteRa still has his Immortals alive. Oh, WhiteRa keeping the Immortals alive is so key. You can see how they even have full health and almost full shields, but looks like Nerchio may be losing this base. This is an incredibly powerful attack. WhiteRa is still behind the field, but oh, his sentry's all in front. His sentry's all in front. He's not throwing down any force fields. He actually doesn't have the energy for it, and so he loses a fair amount of force fields there, but he does take out the hatchery, which is so key. Nerchio is now being reduced to 2 bases, and we're going to see that this Overlord falls, unfortunately for him. Alright, so now we've got Nerchio with a very large force of Roaches, though the problem is they're dealing against a large force of Stalker Sentry Immortal, and these Immortals are going to be so crazy, plus WhiteRa can always micro the Immortals, and now he's just going to warp in more Sentries. My God, WhiteRa does have amazing force field, so it's really working out for him, and we've got Nerchio's bringing in more and more Roaches. The problem is, his Roach count's kind of staying the same, and WhiteRa's getting more units, and they'll give a split force, never mind. No split force field from him, but WhiteRa is not choosing to expand. He doesn't even have a Twilight Council out, so he can't even get Blink or get a +1 attack, but it looks like Nerchio is pretty unhappy with how this game is going so far. He doesn't know anything about a third base, but WhiteRa's not going for it anyway. But something Nerchio wants to be able to see, but Nerchio is definitely unhappy with the fact that WhiteRa seems to be doing tons of damage. Alright, so now with the hatchery going down here onto the mid-left, we're going to be able to see Nerchio get back to his 3-base economy. However, he's even with WhiteRa in his economy for now, and I'm surprised, actually really surprised that WhiteRa isn't going for a Twilight Council at minimum. But Nerchio has been unable to really utilize the... Wait, did he cancel Aspire? I think he canceled the Spire. I think he was like, oh god, I gotta get units out to defend and attack, and then cancel the Spire. But WhiteRa is just macroing up with his gateway count, and is going to be increasing his Stalker count, and is going for more DPS and just engaging. He's warped in pure Stalkers for that round, and he really, really wants to engage. Nerchio has chosen to go for Infestation Pit and Passing Glands, and he wants to actually harass the third base, but that third base does not exist. So it looks like WhiteRa is going for a pure 2-base all-in at this point, because it's almost 50 minutes of the game, and there is no next base, there is no next set of tech, there is no next step. It is just get more units and engage. And now we're going to watch WhiteRa do just that. He is now going to be getting some nice force fields, taking down a fair amount of those lings. And look at the Warp Prism continuing to be aggressive. Doesn't even need to harass the Warp Prism. He's just constantly reinforcing this army. And you see how Nerchio has completely abandoned this base. Nerchio needs to try and get a good spread. That is a smart move to take down the rocks. Doesn't want to create a better choke for force fields, and he doesn't want to be unable to surround WhiteRa. But now we're seeing WhiteRa pushing forward. He's got to be really careful not to get out of position. But now we're seeing all of the lings and the roaches. We see a couple force fields. Perfect force fields. Very perfect force fields. I just said perfect force fields. I'm saying Nerchio too much. Can you imagine if it was Check 6 perfect versus Nerchio? That'd be really, really bad. Alright, but all joking aside, Nerchio is still managing to stay ahead in the food count, which is crazy. But here comes WhiteRa, and just look at this unit's loss tab. That is so unfortunate for Nerchio. Nerchio is just taking loss after loss after loss, but he's got these infestors out, and he's landing a nice amount of fungals. He might be able to push back WhiteRa. These fungals are doing incredibly well. WhiteRa, though, still has some. Look at 23 kill Immortal, and we're seeing a WhiteRa. His unit's loss tab is starting to actually get closer and closer and closer to Nerchio, as Nerchio is just bowling forward and doing an amazing job. Amazing hold by Nerchio. Really amazingly solid play by him. Plus, he has this Overlord here preventing a third coming in from WhiteRa, and WhiteRa actually walled himself in. He's now going to get out some more Immortals, but I mean, talk about overcommitting. WhiteRa getting hit by Nerchio's infestors, and it really, really hurts him. And now Nerchio's looking to be in a beautiful spot. Absolutely beautiful spot. And, Nerchio is really going to be hard-pressed to try and get the win right now. But I'm sorry, WhiteRa is hard-pressed to get the win right now. He needs to play the delay game if he's going to want to be able to do that. And we can see how the delay game is being played much better by Nerchio, who is getting his third base. Actually, he still has an extractor up there. That's going to be actually seriously helpful in terms of mining that base as efficiently as possible ASAP. But now look at WhiteRa being forced to throw down a ton of cannons, trying to make sure he just does not die. And we see a Ling, Roach, Infestor force going to take down a single Zealot. Not the best battle for that Zealot, but now we got a lot of Lings going to be moving forward. The Lings are actually +2 attack Lings, and Nerchio has got unupgraded Roaches too. Now see him pushing forward. WhiteRa forced to cancel all of that. Oh, Nerchio's managing to keep WhiteRa on 2 pace. We're almost 20 minutes in the game. We see a Colossus on the way right now, but I mean, WhiteRa just doesn't have that much of an economy. His main is actually missing a few mineral patches, and so these other ones are not far behind. We see a couple hundred at most on that one. I mean, we see one was at 300 plus, but his natural is now looking to be bad. Look at that, 400 minerals on that one, less than 400 on others. This is really looking to be a terrible, terrible spot for WhiteRa. We're going to watch them pushing forward, and Nerchio is up 1-0. Remember that, guys. If he wins this game, he's going straight to the finals of the Zotac Cup. And now we're seeing Lings streaming forward. No force field locking in those Lings. There we see a missed force field. But, I mean, all Nerchio has to do is just delay. Well, if he can just keep WhiteRa at 2 bases, there's nothing WhiteRa is going to be able to do. So I'm surprised Nerchio hasn't been like, time to get a 4th base, or time to get high tech, time to get Broodlord, something along those lines. But he's just doing really well with his Ling, Roach, Infestor, and WhiteRa is still continuing to be contained. But it looks like WhiteRa is going to start working on pressing out. He made us go for a big 2 base all in. To be honest, one of his best bets may be to pull all his probes and attack with all of his probes along with this attack. 'Cause, I mean, that's not much of an opportunity he has. It looks like he's going to try and expand anyway. But if he can just turtle hardcore, but he's got to be really careful as he get caught in a position that Colossus is in the back. Nerchio's now going to go in and stream in with a huge force of units. A couple of forces, very nice forces, but you have Infested Terran being going to call down, and Roaches are going to be in the front, but WhiteRa does have, he has no more sentries. He has no more sentries. Now the Infested Terror are actually going to do a great job, and they're going to kill off this, and this has got to be GG. There it is. GG. Well played. WhiteRa gets knocked out 2-0 in this series. Very well done. Nerchio played impeccably. Very solid gameplay by him. WhiteRa put up a good fight, but just not quite enough. So very well done by both players, and we are going to be able to. I just got an invite to their games. We're going to be able to get to their game very quickly, which is incredibly exciting.